The Bengals made the signing that's going to win them the Super Bowl this year. Let's go! What is up, Bengals fam? It's your boy Mike coming back at you for another Who Daily. It is Wednesday, March 16th. It's the third day of free agency. The Bengals had a big day on day one, slow day. Actually, they didn't do anything on day two, not even signing their own guys. Today has been a day of signing their own guys. And you heard it in the teaser. They brought back the man, the myth, the long snapping legend. That's right, Clark Harris coming back for his 157th season with the Bengals to snap the ball to the ageless wonder, Kevin Huber. If he's going to be the punter, I have no idea. Who cares? The goal is to never punt, but you got to have a long snapper. It might as well be this Fu Manchu wearing Adonis of a man, Clark Harris. That's right. A couple other moves. Bring him. I'm really excited about Clark Harris. I might grow out. Actually, I don't think I can grow a stash like that. So I'm jealous of that shit. But big signing, actually, really underrated signings. Signing their own guys today. Josh Tupou re-signed, 350-pound monster of a man who rotates with DJ Reader, obviously, and plays on run stopping downs. I mean, that's what, between he and Reader, that's 700 pounds of beef right there, right in the middle of the defense. That's a big signing. That they're still on the lookout. They still need a 3-tech pass rusher. They've got BJ Hill, who's good at it. They need a guy who's a little more specialized than that, and they can get that in a draft. If you watch my mock drafts, you'll see there are some penetrating 3-techs, not a lot of them. There are some 3-techs to be had, but there are also some in the market that they could go after. Michael Thomas, one of the 16 Michael Thomases in the league. Specifically, this is the one that plays defensive back and special teams for the Bengals. He re-signed with the team. This is a locker room character type dude. You got to have guys that fill up the special teams. And the Bengals do, and Zach Taylor, they do a really good job of finding the guys that are going to fit the culture really well. It's less about, yes, you need to be able to play, obviously, in the league. You've got to be, you got to hit the athletic thresholds. But for dudes that are just going to be running down and tackling people on kickoffs and punts, they really do like to value that work ethic, the team attitude that they're really trying to instill, the culture, if you will, that Zach Taylor likes to run with. Guys, the team, you got to chill out with the tight end stuff. A few things. Here are a few reasons why. The team is not worried about it. They understand. They are aware that Drew Sample is limited. They are not going to ask Drew Sample to be C.J. Uzomah. They're not going to ask him to go out and run routes and catch a lot of passes. They know that. They've got to go sign somebody else. They're going to be looking, like I said, this is a middle-class free agency. That's why this team operates in the middle class of free agency. You can rule out the top tier Rob Gronkowski type dudes. He's going to get paid too much. They are not going to pay him that what he's going to be demanding in the market. They're also not going to sign scrubs either. I mean, obviously, but they're going to operate, and they're not going to overpay for bad players. They're not going to overpay for good players. Just sit in that sweet spot. That's why I was keeping an eye on guys like O.J. Howard, who just got signed by the Bills, which is a bummer because I think that would have been a perfect fit. But you still have other tight ends, pass catching tight ends that are available out there. So a couple of guys they could be looking at in the market. Hayden Hurst is out there. He's a very good pass-catching tight end. He would fit that bill very well. He may even be an upgrade, probably is an upgrade from C.J. Uzomah. And you've got Gerald Everett still out there. You've got several other tight ends that are... And this draft has some pass-catching tight ends in it as well. Guys like Isaiah Likely out of Coastal Carolina. There's even, you can get later, and you can get some pass-catching type dudes. There's Greg Dulcich out of UCLA. He's a more of a split tight end. Also, guys like Jake Ferguson out of Wisconsin. I really like what I see when I watch him play. So there are options in the draft for the Bengals to fill this spot, but I think they're going to sign at least one, probably two tight end free agents. It's just not going to be dudes that you really, really love or like or kind of know about. But guys, it's not this. All they need out of their tight end is to draw is to be dangerous enough to draw the attention of strong safeties and linebackers. If they can do that, the receiver core is going to do the work. It's going to be Chase, it's going to be Higgins, it's going to be Boyd, eating up those those holes in the zone that are created by the tight end sitting right there. You can't leave him standing in the middle of the field wide open, right? So that's really what they use the tight end for. Anyway, this isn't a tight end first offense. This isn't an offense that runs through the tight end or anything. So chill out. It'll be okay. I would be even willing to say that even if Drew Sample is the best tight end on the team next year, it isn't gonna. C.J. Uzomah didn't add a bunch of wins to the team last year. He made some really big plays and some clutch moments, but saying that without him they wouldn't have won those games is not how football works. They would have found a different guy. Joe Burrow is better than most quarterbacks at doing that. So just some thoughts on the tight end. They're likely done, guys, signing, just looking forward in free agency. They're likely done signing the tier 1 or 2 type players. That's why I really think, while I love the idea of bringing in J.C. Treader or Leo Collins or even a Trent, I don't think Treader is a Treader and Collins is probably still on the table, right? As the last kind of tier 2 dude they may sign. Treader more than likely is going to be too expensive for them. They're just not going to break their own rules, guys. And you know what the rules are. Don't overpay for interior offensive linemen. In fact, they don't really overpay for anyone. Can you remember the last time you looked at a Bengals contract, outside of when they tagged AJ Green, and you're like, man, they're paying too much for that guy? I don't. I mean, they just don't do it. It's not something you need to worry about. But what they are going to be doing is more than likely they're going to still be looking at guys like Leo Collins. They're still going to be looking at guys like Taron Armstead. They're still going to be looking at, I think, they'll take a close look at Trent Brown. He may be a cap casualty of the Patriots, and he is a right tackle, and he is very good. He's huge. He's like 360 pounds, but he moves really, really well. He has a high pass blocking grading, both in PFF and other places that you look. Just a really good tackle, and a guy who is recently quoted. I mean, if you look at, I think he posted on Twitter or somewhere, he was saying, I really want to. Sorry, I just kicked my microphone. He's saying, I really want to find a place to settle into and play the next 6-7 years of my career and not be a 1-year player in a lot of different places. Bengals can offer him that if he's willing to take their contract structure. They can offer him the stability. Remember when we said, people complain about this. The Bengals do business the old-fashioned way, and they don't structure their contracts the right way, and blah blah blah. They structure contracts to get guys like Trent Brown interested, because when you sign a contract with the Bengals, you are going to 95% of the time, they're not going to trade you, and you're going to see the end of your contract. So, and they're going to pay you the number that's on there. So that's attractive to guys that are looking for stability, guys like Trent Brown. So keep an eye on that. The other guy that would be huge but super unlikely, this is another tier 1 type player that I think would fit perfectly as far as that penetrating 3-tech that we talked about. George Ioannidis just got released, right? So Ioannidis is an elite level 3-tech that can get pressure right up the middle on pass rushing down. It'd be a huge signing. Again, though, I think it's too rich for the Bengals' blood. I don't think they go, and they're already spending crazy amounts of money across that. It's not crazy. They're spending a lot of money on DJ Reader and Trey Hendrickson, but compared to what players are getting paid in this free agent period, those are looking like really good deals. The amount of money that DJ Reader and Trey Hendrickson make. So, BJ Hill just re-signed. I just don't know if they have earmarked more money to pay a guy that's going to demand the amount of money Ioannidis draws. So, just something interesting to think about. Really doubt it. Really doubt that it's going to happen. They're still going to add a cornerback. They're probably going to re-sign either one or both of Eli Apple and Vernon Hargraves. One of the two, maybe both of them. And then bring in other outside free agents, of which there are a lot. The cornerback market hasn't really taken off yet, so you don't really need to worry about that. Once it starts taking off and the top 3 or 4 guys get signed, that's when you want to look. And by the way, you want to start looking for people going on visits. You remember the old days before COVID when free agents would like actually go and visit a team and go to their facility? You remember Riley Reef came to Cincinnati and had dinner with Joe Burrow before he signed? That stuff's going to start happening again. In fact, Trent Brown is scheduled to visit to go talk to the Seahawks. And so just start looking for that. It's going to start feeling a little bit more like a normal free agency period now that the kind of day one frenzy is over. So just wanted to kind of reset with you guys. Here's where we are. We're still working with a Super Bowl roster, but and it has improved. But that being said, the AFC is getting more and more stacked the longer free agency goes. It just seems like every top tier player is coming to an AFC contender. The Bills are loading up. The Chiefs are loading up. Even the like teams like the Patriots. You know, these teams are. Even the other AFC North teams, the Ravens are making some moves. So, not worried about the Browns because who knows who's even going to play quarterback for them and whatever. And same thing with the Steelers. But if either of those teams get a quarterback, the rest of the rosters are in place. Basically, it's just a matter of can they get cohesive enough, fast enough, with a new quarterback in order to compete in this really, really tough division. Usually the answer to that is no, but who knows? But the thing is, these teams are loading up with talent, filling holes that they or perceived gaps in their roster. The Bengals are doing the same thing. The issue is the Bengals don't really have that many gaps in their roster. Once they tagged Bates, they're set at safety. Their linebackers are both young and under contract. Well, all three of them, if you include, or four of them, if you include Davis Gaither and Joe Bacci. They've got their defensive line is locked up. The receiving core is locked up. They need to look at, replacing C.J. Uzomah, and they've already, even if they do nothing else the rest of the offseason, they've already improved the offensive line. It's already going to be better than it was in the Super Bowl, right? But they're going to keep getting better, and hopefully, go back and be one of those really rare repeating Super Bowl contenders. But I don't want you guys to overlook how important it is that we got the legend back on the roster, baby. Show me that picture again. That's right there. Clark Harris, the legend. That's going to do it for me, guys. Until next time, I've been Mike. This has been Who Daily. See ya.